Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of ISM Radio. I'm your host, Gaige. I am here tonight at Oheka Castle for the ISM Executive Networking event, and I have the pleasure of sitting here in the library with Scott Stimell, and you guys already know who he is. You've seen him on MSG commercials and a lot more, but you remember seeing him on those MSG commercials. I remember seeing you wearing those Billy Smith. You have Billy Smith's goalie pads on, and that image is in my head because they don't even make those brown pads anymore.
Those Cohos, they're awesome.
My kids were just in an ice hockey store, and I said to the guy that runs it, I said, do you guys actually have those Milek pads that we all used to wear? Because the street hockey pads were all colored like those.
Yeah. And the Milek pucks, the orange puck. You know how many holes I shot in my garage?
So I tell my kids how many garage windows I've had to replace because of the orange ball. Oh. That was hard. My kids shoot that now on the driveway.
I used the puck. I didn't use the ball.
Forget it. So you guys know Scott, and we got a lot to talk about here because everybody loves sports and sports memorabilia, and this isn't just something that you got into, and you are so passionate about this that talking to you, I know this is in you need a blood transfusion.
Correct.
And you've been told that all the information you have in your head is an encyclopedia and you're going to die with it, and they don't want that to happen, which is why we're starting
Very true.
to get you on the podcast all the time, right?
People have been begging me to do podcasts.
Yeah, so you got to do it. And here he is. He's on an ISM Radio podcast here at Oheka Castle. And you've been here to the castle before.
Yeah, I was here last week, actually.
Oh, okay. So, this place is incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
People don't realize it's a hotel, it's a restaurant. Everybody thinks it's got high-end weddings, and that's it.
No, it's beautiful.
There's so much going on here. You can come and get a tour. So stop by Oheka Castle. You can visit them at oheka.com. We love being here for the podcast. And thanks for coming tonight.
I really appreciate you having me tonight. I'm looking forward to the podcast, and I love to talk about my passion.
So your new location, let's talk about this new location because it's 5 minutes away from my house.
Yeah.
It's in a parking lot where I went to a restaurant there as a kid. It's unbelievable. And you're in the Meat Farm parking lot at 114 Commack Road.
Correct.
And you got a new facility. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing. So it's, I just, after being in my old location for about 17 years, all together, I'm in the area I opened up my store in the spring of 92, so 33 years. But just moved to a really big, bright location, and it's beautiful. It's just very inviting, and bright and a lot of energy in there.
And there's a reason why you say bright, because with the memorabilia and the stuff that's in there, you really have to look at it and enjoy it and see it. And if you go into these dark, dungy places where you got to dig through things and you can't see them so good. So you keep bringing up that it's bright for a reason.
Well, yeah, it's bright. And
that was into the design you did.
Yeah, because my old store wasn't as bright, and people really comment that when they walk in, it pops, and it's a feel-good place to walk into. The history, the memories. You see people's face when they walk into the store, and it's amazing to see. I love to be a storyteller and tell the stories and see people connect with the memorabilia, with the story, whether it's they remember a story that they went to an Islander game with their father, or they won the Stanley Cup, or something, or a player looked at them or threw them a puck or a stick.
That's right. My kids were just at UBS Arena, and Bo Horvat gave my son and daughter a puck during warm-ups through the video hole that they opened up the thing and gave it to them, and now that's like the topic of discussion.
Now they love him. They'll never forget him. He's their favorite.
My daughter felt bad. She was wearing a Barzell jersey, and Horvat gave her the puck.
Right. So now
it's costing me $255 for a Horvat jersey.
Well, you know what? Horvat's a scorer.
Oh, he's the best. He is, and we love him. And listen, we love Barzell. We love Horvat. We were there chanting. We were the first ones to be chanting Matthew Schaefer.
By the way,
this team is going in the right direction.
Matthew Schaefer,
real deal.
Tremendous.
Real deal.
Person,
everything.
Story.
And you know Matt Martin.
Yes, I know Matt, number 17.
He's living at Matt's house.
He's living at Matt's house.
You see the pictures with him holding the kids.
And Boomer and the whole dynamic of the Rangers and the Islanders. I love it.
Unbelievable.
But Matt Schaefer you can tell his energy levels. He's bringing a whole new dynamic.
Changing the
Changing the whole dynamic.
Look at Pellick, and just a quick example of that. Pellick and Pullock now step up in the rush and go behind the net with things they've never done before or as much, because they see what new energy and new light. And other coaches are saying that this kid is being compared to Bobby Orr and some of the best players.
He has to fill out a little bit. He has to gain some weight. Just a little bit.
And he knows that.
Yeah, he does.
He's 18.
Yeah. No,
Wait till this kid's 24, like Sidney Crosby.
He's got an offensive mind too. I like that. He goes to the net.
Patrick Waugh literally just said this, and you just said it. He's offensive minded, but in the last game, he made so many rushes into the offense, but he never missed a beat on defense.
Yeah, he gets back. He's quick.
He is all 200 feet, and if he gets up, he doesn't ever get caught back. His
ice
it's a 2-on-1.
I think his ice time's tremendous.
Minutes.
Yeah, his ice time's
ridiculous.
He's there all the time.
For an
maybe not on the kills, but everything else, right?
Now, this is what's so cool about Scott is, I said to you guys, you know who he is. You see him wearing the pads in the commercial. In that commercial, you are so passionate about the things you're holding and talking about and why you got involved in this, because you really love this stuff. You really do. This is like...
Yeah, I live it. I breathe it, and I love to talk about it. I love to teach. I love to educate. I love to tell the stories about the pieces. I love to bring everything together.
Give me some favorite pieces. Give me something that we talk about, because you have too many, but give me something good.
I mean, things that people like. I have a lot of personal things.
Mickey Mantle, for example.
So I'm a huge Mickey Mantle collector. I mean, everyone, like, I just miss Mickey Mantle. So as far as like my age,
right,
and all that, but I just became a big Mickey Mantle collector. I see a lot of people would come into my store. Everyone talked about Mickey Mantle like he was their idol and only their idol. Everyone had such a personal attachment to Mickey Mantle, like. He was their guy and no one else. It's kind of like it was my dog, my animal. Nobody else can have him. He's mine.
Right.
My guy was Bobby Mercer, because I came a little after. I was number one. I was a lefty, but Bobby was supposed to fill the center field shoes for Mantle, playing in center field. He's my favorite guy, Bobby, as a player. So in my new store, I created a shrine for Bobby with a game-used bat and all his cards and letters and things that he wrote to me. I got a chance to meet him later on. Actually help him with, before he sadly got brain cancer, but before he did, he worked with Cancer Foundation, and I got connected to him through a friend of mine that lived in my building in Long Beach, and I got a chance to meet him and help him with his foundation. So I have things that he signed to me thanking me to help him. This is before he got cancer, ironically.
Wow.
And he signed a photo, his final wave, a black and white photo, and he signed to Scott, my biggest and best fan, best wishes always. And that sits.
Sure,
when you
that's
walk
in
in
the
my
shrine.
store,
That
when you
shrine.
walk in my store, that's there. And his bat and other paraphernalia of him, because it tells you where my heart is.
Right.
And why
as a collector and a fan.
Why I do what I do, why I love it. And I'll tell you, I'm jumping around a little bit.
That's okay.
But sadly, I lost my dad when I was 19, tragically. And
Sorry to hear that.
when I buried my father with a baseball card of Bobby Mercer, because the love that my father and Bobby Mercer gave me for the game of baseball, for my collecting baseball cards. And I felt it was a connection.
That's it.
And I got a chance, thankfully, to tell Bobby while he was alive the impact that he had on me and how I buried my father with a baseball card. I can't imagine a bigger tribute.
What a story.
To somebody. So when people walk into my store and they see that, they'll also see the first card I ever opened up inside of a pack of baseball cards, which was 1972. And it was Frank Howard, who was 6'6", this large man. I remember opening the pack, where I was. My father explained to me who he was. And when you walk into my store now at 114 Commack Road in Commack.
That's right.
Okay? You're going to see a showcase, and that baseball card sits there next to the Bobby Mercer. And when people come in, I let them know that my store, I make a living what I do, but it's really to show my love of what I collected and what I do, and I want to share that with young children, with adults, and I think people really love to hear the stories.
Because kids today, you brought it up, kids today don't realize they didn't flip baseball cards like me and you did. That was a real thing back in the day. When you, like you said, when you opened up that pack of cards, you couldn't wait to see. And we all had that. We had Babe Ruth, and we had these cards that we didn't even know.
You didn't have Babe Ruth because well, if you opened them up in maybe the 70s, there was a Babe Ruth insert, but it wasn't the original one.
No, it wasn't the original that my grandfather would have had.
But I had Hank Aaron's and Nolan Ryan's and stuff like that. But there are 3 ways to flip. There's a whole thing I want to teach kids when they come in about the art of flipping.
That's right.
So years ago, I was a baseball card analyst for a magazine that's now defunct, but I wrote a couple of stories, and one of them was the art of trading flipping cards. So the standard people that always know are flipping against the wall.
That's right, scaling them. It was called scaling.
And you had to get it close to the wall, and if
stood up, it leaned against the wall.
Correct. And I've talked about this before, and you had to and you try to knock someone else
down. Yeah, you have to knock it down.
Right, you have to knock it down. The other way, which was really what we did the most when in my age group, was we flipped 5 last, 10 last with colors, where we matched the colors on the, you would play shades, like a red and orange would be a shade to make the game go faster. Yep. If you didn't want to play pure pink on pink or green on green, green with a light, whatever it was, the shade would be.
Yep.
But we would borrow cards from kids and whatever. It was amazing. And then my Father's Day, they used to match. They used to flip the card, heads or tails, and used to do a match. I didn't do that much, but my father used to be like, look at my wrist. I could do, he was amazing.
Right. He was amazing.
He was amazing.
Technique. It was all technique.
So, I always tell people like how I started my store, why I started my store. If you notice what the name of my store is, it's Cardboard Memories.
That's right.
What's a baseball card?
Cardboard.
And what is it? It's a memory. Right. So for me, I remember specifically opening up my first pack of cards.
Hence the website. Cardboardmemories.com.
Right, and I remember where I was at certain things. I look at a baseball card today could be a Roberto Clemente, 1972. He's throwing up the ball. It could be Clemente's last year card, which is an action. Jerry Groves, the catch on the. I have a photographic memory. I could tell you the names, the numbers on the back of the baseball card.
I can't wait to come in and see. Now, we started off with Mickey Mantle.
Yes.
And for a reason, because not only you're an autograph expert, but you really honed in on the Mickey Mantle autograph. That's really how you.
Yes.
That was one of your specialties.
Yeah.
So
that put me on the map a little bit. I just started studying his autograph. I became enthralled with him and who he was as a player. I just studied his autograph, and I was lucky enough I actually worked with the FBI on forgeries back in the late 90s. I helped to be an informant because there was a lot of things going on back then. I ended up consulting for one of the largest third-party authentication companies in the country, which is well known. I became their consultant for Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, names like that.
Right.
And it's just something that I can see an autograph from 10 feet away with my hand closed on one eye and know whether it's good or bad. It's funny.
Wow. Because
people will walk in the store and I'm like, don't bring that in. Don't even come in.
I already know. I don't want to see it.
Don't even come in. And then they say to me, well, how'd you know so fast? Can you teach me? And I'm like, no, I can't teach you.
It's right.
I know it.
CSI. You're like,
I'm like, you don't ask the doctor when you walk into the doctor's office how he knows you have swollen glands. You don't challenge him. You just say, okay, doc, you must know that I have swollen glands.
That's it. So Mickey Mantle, you were an autograph expert now. I mean, there's so many areas we could dive into. This literally could be a weekly or a monthly podcast. Sure. Absolutely. 100%. There's so much to talk about and discuss. But I noticed on the website that it said art. And then we talked about it, and I said, well, if you have art, you definitely have something Kobe Bryant, because obviously, these are the biggest and the best and the most traded and the most, collected. Sure. So give us an idea of some of the stuff in your shop that if people are going to come in and check it out, because 114 Commack Road.
I happen to love art. We have a lot of different kind of art. We have a lot of canvas art. About 4 or 5 years ago, I bought an artist that did paper sculptor. And every piece of, whether it's an athlete, whether it's a famous musician, Sopranos, he did the Sopranos. Amazing details. Every little strand is cut from paper, and it's whether it's a ring on the finger, it's strands of hair. One day you'll come in and I'll show you.
You won't believe it until you see it.
So I have a bunch of his collection. He was a local artist that displayed stuff, all over the country, Lincoln Center and stuff like that. And over time, I bought from his son. He had passed away, sadly. I bought a lot of his collection because I couldn't believe how detailed it was. So I've dibbled and dabbled in some of that artwork because I find it I find it very interesting because the artwork covers everything from sports, entertainment, music. He did theater, a lot of sarcastic kind of art.
It's in the realm of the passion of everything that has to do with cardboard memories. It really is. So it actually fits right in.
Yeah, we do cards, we do memorabilia, we do framing, we do everything. I mean, whatever, anything.
I'm excited. I'm excited. You're only 5 minutes from my house because my kids are going to lose their minds. I know that because they're huge Islander fans and they love. We're not harping on the Islanders, but you did say, give me some of the ideas of people you worked with, because you do charity events and stuff like that, because people have memorabilia at every event.
Absolutely. So I've been fortunate enough to work with Matt Martin, who gives so much back to Long Island.
Yeah,
everyone knows number 17.
17.
You would think he's a brawler on the ice. He's
Godfathered in with no face shield.
He's amazing.
Great.
People. He's an enforcer. He was an enforcer for the Islanders.
That's right.
But
he knew his role.
I would always ask him, is it premeditated and whatever, and he'd always say no.
No.
But you wouldn't know that he was that guy off the ice.
No, never.
Everyone's got that second switch that they turn on.
That's right.
That this is the guy's the nice guy. How is he?
Schaefer's living with him.
Yeah, they're living together.
Holding his kids
in Boomer's house. In Boomer Esiason's house, he's a huge Ranger fan.
Huge. I mean, it doesn't get any better on his radio show.
I love it. I love it.
So I mean, look at we bring that all together right here.
And they have and Matt just had twins. Yes. And they got people running around the house. They got dogs. I was talking to Sydney at the event. She was telling me how they have the dogs, and now they have Matt, and two Matts, and it must be crazy in that house.
And it's amazing that Schaefer actually picked to go there, because there were like 12 people on the team that said he can come live with me if he wants.
Right.
But he selected to go live with Matt Martin, and
that's a good selection.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a good selection.
Great person to learn from.
Yeah, I think so.
Just like I think Sydney learned a lot from living with Lemieux when he came into the NHL. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're being taught from the best. Yeah. And not that we're saying Matt's fourth line identity, that he was the best player in the NHL, but
I love that identity line.
Me too. He knew his role, him and Cizikas and Clutterbuck. And I love talking to Clutterbuck about it at the game now. I mean, my kids got to meet him. Another great individual. I mean, these guys are just unbelievable.
Down to earth. Really hockey guys are really
they really are. They are the best, 100%. And so I take my kids to your store. We're Islander fans, obviously. But let's talk about the people out there that are watching this, that see this, that are huge memorabilia fans, that have never been to your shop. They've seen the commercial on MSG. They know who you are. You're wearing Billy Smith's hockey pads, which is super cool that you put those on for the video.
I know, I love that.
Give me some other stuff in the shop that's make people want to come in and see the place.
I could be here for.
We're gonna be here. It's gonna be
for days and months. There's so much because if you want to talk about Islander stuff, I have some original banners.
What about the Rangers? You got Rangers.
I have great Ranger stuff. So all right, so we'll talk about the Rangers.
Yeah.
All right, so I did a couple of exclusive pieces with Mark Messier, the captain, where he was after 9/11. There was a poignant moment where he was wearing the fireman's hat. I had him do some exclusive pieces that we did out of 11 for 9/11. And he signed, "I guarantee we will never forget." Wow. He did those only for me. Now, the ironic thing, the funny twist on it is each piece of the 11, he spelled guarantee incorrectly. He spelled it like...
So you know how authentic that is. That's actually worth more.
I think so. So it's funny.
That's worth more.
Originally, I was like, but now I'm like, he's from Canada, whatever. But I think it's extremely cool.
100% it's cool because no one's going to make that mistake if they're forging something, or it's like, they're going to write it the correct way. So having it
so I mean,
misspelled adds value to it.
It's a really cool piece. I like to tie cool things together, especially for charities, things that will strike and pull on a chord.
Yes.
A heartstring.
Yeah.
Make you say, okay, I connect to this for whatever reason it is, because everyone obviously 9/11.
Right.
There's a lot of people that have.
It affected the whole world that day.
Of course.
But we in New York, we felt it more than most. So.
Yes, and I go back to some other great moments in hockey, like the 1980 Miracle on Ice team.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right? You talk about
get better than that.
So let's talk about this one player who lived the dream of all dreams. Can you guess who I'm thinking of?
No.
Okay, if you had to think of one Islander who had a career that you couldn't dream could possibly happen, I'm going to tell you his name.
It wasn't Mike Bossy, but
you're
just thinking the greatest. Okay.
Not a guy like that.
LaFontaine?
No. His name is Ken Morrow.
Okay.
He goes on, he wins the gold medal for the 1980 USA Olympic hockey team. and then he goes on to win 4 Stanley Cups in a row.
He's in my living room.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, if someone told you, hey, you're going to beat the Soviet Union, then no one even remembers that team beat, Finland to win it all.
That's right.
The gold medal was not even important at that point.
No.
To be honest.
Yeah, but what the coach did to get that team and the characters together the chemistry that he created.
Now, if you think about that team, it's Davey versus Goliath, right?
Right.
Nobody on that team.
We never had a chance to win that game.
But nobody on that team was a Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, right?
No.
The people that you think of that were on that team were Jim Craig, who had a cup of coffee for the Flames, Atlanta Flames at the time, and Michael Ruzioni, who was the captain, right? But Ruzioni didn't really sniff the NHL. The people that Ken Morrow goes on to win, but Neil Broughton, guys like that, but nobody was a superstar on that team. It was the sum of the parts are equal to, the greater of however the wording is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that came down to the coaching there. That's what that
but the belief,
movie is amazing.
It's the belief.
That's right, that they all believed in one another. They all bought into the system.
It's buying in.
And made it happen. I mean, that was incredible.
I don't need you to be a superstar. I need you to dig in the corners. I need you to do the dirty work. I need you to believe that together we don't need those superstars.
The identity line. We just said it.
Right.
They knew they knew what they needed to do.
Right.
And now we have a 4th line that's worth bragging about because I love some of these new kids. I really do. The Shabanov and some of the new talent that came in is absolutely incredible. Really is.
I'm excited because, you need a little bit of a resurgence, some new blood.
100%. We knew we did. We also needed a new GM, which is why we weren't getting the new blood. Yeah. Now we got the new GM, the new blood, all that comes into play. Give me an idea. We go to 114 Commack Road. Give me a jersey. Give me something material a jersey that's in a case that they're going to be thrown away. Jordan.
So I have these Jordan breaking through pieces that are like 5 feet tall, signed by Jordan, balls breaking through. It's like jamming. It's literally 5 feet by like 4 feet. It's the telltale piece that when you walk on my store, it pops and people are like, wow.
Right.
I have Cassius Clay's trunks. He signed Cassius Clay with a CC before he was Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
We have just a lot of really cool created stuff. I'm a big ticket collector, so we have a lot of historical moments. Tickets aren't being printed anymore.
Right.
So it's a piece that you can
It's all digital now.
So, I like when someone writes on the back of a ticket, the score of the game, the attendance of the game.
That's right.
It kind of makes you feel like it connects you a little bit to it.
Like you kept concert tickets.
Value-wise, they say when they're grading them that there's a mark on it and everything. But to me, it puts that person in the seat closer to you.
That's right.
So I like that. A little tidbit is I just got back from PSA DNA, which is PSA, the authentication company. I just got back the 1980 when the Islanders won the Stanley Cup, May 24th, 1980. Bobby Nystrom overtime goal. The ticket stub I got graded. I actually got back a 6. It's the highest graded ticket of that game-winning moment from 1980. So I was really pumped about that.
And you should be.
Yeah.
But you could go on and do this about thousands of items in your shop.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just one. It's not just two. The passion is deep.
Oh, yeah.
The knowledge is even deeper, and we're going to suck this out of you. So we're going to break this segment down into multiple social media clips for you to be able to put out there because the passion that you have behind this is just, it really is incredible. Makes me want to come to the store, but I saw it in your commercials. You saw your passion in those commercials. Sure. You felt it. You really did.
Thank you.
And I got to say, it wasn't acting. You got out there and did this. You could have hired an actor to go on and do this, but you really got on those commercials and let us all feel that this memorabilia meant more to you than just being a little flag that somebody signed from a game that's in a case, and that meant a lot. It means a lot to anybody that loves sports. We're going to get you back on here. Me and you are going to start doing probably more bi-weekly and get out there a little bit more because you got so much to talk about. We'll do this from in your shop.
It'd be great, yeah.
You're
going to love it. You're going to love it.
The backdrop, and now I'm going to be able to point things out and be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And we're going to show you guys a whole new world of memorabilia and the way that you should do it. Now, let me ask you a question. This is a great question because now I put this on the internet, and guys in Florida and guys that collect all over the world may see this new piece that you have in there that they obviously, wow, this guy's a Mickey Mantle. They want to buy something from you. Do you ship out of the country? And
I ship anywhere.
You ship anywhere?
Yeah. I'll ship you if you want.
Okay.
Because people probably want you at their house.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody needs a captain.
Yeah. I'll probably can do you. You're probably better off me freighting you.
You hear that? 100%. I'll tell you what. I am going to challenge Michael Jordan in one of the. He's a huge fisherman. So he's very competitive about fishing, and he's got a sick boat, Catch 23. He just got a new bayless.
Oh, that's crazy.
And yeah, he got rid of his Viking, and I don't know if he got rid of it, but he's not using it. He's got like an 85-foot bayless, and he goes around.
It's like a tugboat for him.
He goes around the world and enters all the fishing tournaments. He's that competitive.
Wow. Well, he's competitive with anything.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter what it is. It could be that. Remember that paper football you used to play?
Exactly.
Anything.
100%. And so I'm coming for you, Michael. But I am going to come to the shop and check out all this stuff. And I already know where you are, but I got to tell the people where you are and the website. He's at 114 Commack Road. He's in the Meat Farms Shopping Center over there by Pastrami and things.
Yep.
It's Pastrami and Friends.
Yep.
Pastrami and Friends.
Yep.
And the website is cardboardmemories.com. It's under construction. We're going to help you actually make that website better than it possibly could have been, dreamed of, whatever, because
that'd be great.
We got to bring everything to life on that site and let people really get a feel for it. But in the meantime, we're going to take this podcast to the next level and do the next episode with him in the shop so you guys can see it. Tonight we're at Oheka Castle for the ISM Executive Networking event, and super excited that you came here tonight.
No, I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks for coming. We really
I love your
appreciate
energy also, so I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. I do. And closing this out, is there anything that you want to tell people to go to the website? Should they call a number if they're into this? What do you think?
Yeah, just if anyone wants to reach out to me, I love to share my knowledge. You have any questions? No questions are silly. Could be about baseball cards, could be about autographs. You can reach me at sales@cardboardmemories.com. That's sales@cardboardmemories.com. You can reach us at 631-462-1919. Reach out with any questions. We do appraisals. We do authentication. Whatever you need, we're here for you. I love to share stories. I love to help. It's just my passion, as we talked about many times. The word passion comes up constantly. And it's not a word to be used lightly because it's really the truth. I've never worked a day in my life because I love what I do. And I just welcome any questions. Checking out my store. If you're anywhere in the vicinity, people do travel to come see us.
Oh, yeah, I can
We're
imagine.
worth the trip. We're like Dunkin' Donuts. You can't get us in the grocery store.
That's right.
So come in and pay a visit to us. I promise you, bring your kids, bring your grandparents, bring anyone you want to experience the memories of sports and history. I love to share it, and thanks for having me.
Oh, Scott, we love having you. And this was a great episode. I know you guys are enjoying it, but don't forget to visit him at cardboardmemories.com and visit him at 114 Commack Road. This is Gaige Simon signing off of ISM Radio. Scott, great job today. You did great.
Thanks so much.
You really did.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you next episode. Thanks for listening to ISM Radio. Join us for our invitation-only executive networking event at the legendary Oheka Castle. For more information, visit ideastreammarketing.com.